संजय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनं ब्रवीत. Hello friends. Friends, this shlok is the second shlok of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and in today's video we are going to be discussing this shlok in detail. So let's first understand the meaning of this shlok. So the shlok goes as Sanjay Uvach, which means Sanjay said, then Drishtva tu, which means after looking at, then Pandavanikam Vyudham, which means the arrangement of the army of the Pandavas, then Duryodhanas Tada, which means then Duryodhan, Acharya Mupasangamya, went close to the Acharya, Raja Vachanam Bravit. The king then said the following words. So if you look at the meaning of this, it's basically saying that Sanjay said that after looking at the army of the Pandavas, Duryodhan then went to the Acharya. Acharya over here is Guru Dronacharya, who is the teacher of both the Kauravas and the Pandavas. And then over there, he said the following words. Now, if you have seen the previous video on Bhagavad Gita where the first shlok was discussed, over there we have seen that Dhritarashtra was asking Sanjay that at the Kurukshetra, his sons and the Pandu's sons have gathered together with an intention of fighting, and in that process, what happened? So, to that question, Sanjay over here is giving an answer, and that's why the slok starts as Sanjay said. So, what Sanjay is saying over here is that Duryodhan looked at the army of the Pandavas and then he went to Guru Dronacharya and he was about to say some words. Now, what word he says will come in tomorrow's video. But in today's video, let's learn some more things. So, first of all, we must think of some things. For example, Duryodhan. Why is Duryodhan being named Duryodhan? That's a question that comes in. I mean, why did Dhritarashtra name his son as Duryodhan? And to explain that, you can see that the word Duryodhan actually has two meanings. The word Duryodhan can be broken down into Dur and Yodhan. Yodhan will mean to fight, and Dur can have two different meanings. The first meaning that Dur can have is when it is difficult to do. For example, when we say Durgam, then that means that it is difficult to go at that place. And then Dur can also have a meaning of Durachar, which is bad behavior. So Dur can have bad behavior also. So when you look at the word Duryodhan, it has two meanings. The one meaning is that he is someone who is difficult to fight with, and so that is a positive meaning, and I think that's the reason why with this meaning in intention, the Dhritarashtra named Duryodhan his son he named Duryodhan. But then there is the other meaning, which is that he is bad fighter. So that's the other meaning. So that is the kind of alankar that has been used over here in the Mahabharata, where they are giving the positive name to Duryodhan also, but then also sort of giving the bad intention of Duryodhan also, like how bad he is. So that's very interesting. The other interesting thing that you should note is that Guru Dronacharya over here, to whom he is talking, why is he been given the name Dronacharya? So Drona also has the meaning of the, you can say, the pot in which you keep the material for the yajna or for the sacrifice. And so Dronacharya in that sense is the teacher into which teacher which is signifying the pot in which the material for the sacrifice is included. So when you look at it from that point of view, you can see that in the Indian tradition, the sacrifice is not just a sacrifice in terms of performing the yajna into by putting in things into the fire, but sacrifice is just your whole life is basically a sacrifice. Your whole life is a yajna. All the work that you do is also performing yajna. And when you do a work, you basically perform your actions or your duties, and those you learn from your guru itself, because it's your guru who teaches you what is the right conduct, how to do things. And so in that sense, you can say that the guru is the pot in which the material which is used for the action that you perform, or for the yajna, or for the sacrifice that you perform in your life is included. So in that sense also, Guru Dronacharya has been named as Guru Dronacharya. The other interesting thing over here that you should note is that, as you will see as we proceed further, you know that Bhagavad Gita is mostly uh, it's the dialogue between Arjun and Shri Krishna, and so Arjun is actually asking for instructions from Sri Krishna on how to act. While for Duryodhan, what he is doing is he is going to Guru Dronacharya. Now, Guru Dronacharya, of course, is the teacher of Duryodhan. So when he is going to Guru Dronacharya, you can say that he is basically approaching his guru. So that's a good thing. But the message that Bhagavad Gita is trying to give you is that while Dronacharya is the instructions that you get from Guru Dronacharya are good, but the instructions that you get from God personified are superior. And when we talk about God personified, it's the inner voice inside us which tells us what is right and what is wrong. And so in life, when you are facing some sort of a dilemma and you don't really know what to do, you can either talk to the people whom you respect. So you can talk to your teacher or you can talk to your father, and they can give you some advice. But the best advice that you can get is the advice that you get from your inside itself, from your antaratma is what we call it, or from the voice that is inside you, which tells you what is right and what is wrong. That is the most superior voice that you should refer to. So that is also the message that you're getting from this portion of Bhagavad Gita. So I hope I have explained you this shlok pretty well. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, take care.